Hey everybody, hope you're staying warm in this cold weather we're having right now. This is going to be the last update for the class. We're going to go over the remaining assignments, due dates, etc., and just a quick where we stand. Before I get that, pardon my voice, I've come down with a bit of a cold, nothing major, but we shall push on this. What's remaining? So basically, if you haven't done the chapter quizzes, that's still remaining. We still have another essay, argumentative essay, over either Americanization, the New Deal policies over on, or the Civil Rights Movement. 2 supporting videos have been put up. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to do my last lecture on the Civil Rights Movement. So if you choose that option, that will be up. Regardless, you need to watch all 3 because there will be a few questions on the exam and perhaps a free response if you want it on the exam as well, concerning the New Deal and the Civil Rights Movement. Other than that, we have the monograph analysis and the second exam coming up. Where to start? Let's start with the chapter quizzes. The due date on the chapter quizzes for the remaining ones is December 16th. Looking through the grade sheet, many of y'all have finished them all already. Fantastic. If not, well, go ahead and get on to that. Actually, I should say before all that, because it is the 8th when I'm making this video. On Brightspace, I put that the deadline for the exam was December 7th. I actually made the exam due date December 8th, and that's a firm due date right there. That if you have not taken the first exam, you need to get it done by tonight. At 11:30 is the cutoff. Give yourself enough time to do it. I don't know what happens if you're submitting it. I put it where I will accept late submissions if you started it ahead of time. If it's 11:45 and you turn it in, because you need a little extra time, I'm not going to penalize for that. That'd be a total dick move. But if it's, the 9th or the 10th and you're like, oh shit, I have an exam still to do and you haven't done it, well, that might be a problem. You need to contact me immediately and we'll work out what we're going to do from there, but you're probably not going to be pleased with the result. So please get that exam done tonight. It should be real simple, guys. For the scores that I already have for the exam, most of y'all did fantastic. I mean, some perfect scores and all that on the quizzes, because most of those questions you have seen before. And this leads into the second exam and what you can do with the second exam. Once again, I take a lot of those exam questions from the quizzes. That's done by design, right? You took the quizzes, you scored the ones you missed. We'll go back and find out what you missed and why, and therefore you're learning up to the exam. It's one of the more effective things you can do in an online class when, let's be honest, online classes are very convenient. They are not, the most effective way to actually learn history, but we work with what we can on this, right? And so exam 2 is going to be more of the same. Mini chapter quizzes, the remaining chapter quizzes, and we're going to use those for the bulk of the questions. Now, there will be a few questions from the videos, particularly from the New Deal and the Civil Rights video on the second exam, and there'll be 2 free response questions. I will post the exam review maybe tomorrow, by Saturday at the latest, and the exam will open up as soon as I post the exam review, and you will have until December 18th to take that at 11:30. Nobody wants to be taking that on Sunday. Try to get it done ahead of time. I can grade it, and you can know exactly where you stand in the class as soon as you finish it. But nonetheless, that is the due date. That is technically the day this class ends at midnight on December the 18th. So be prepared on that, and it's over in 9 days. Other than that, we have a monograph due and an essay due. We'll talk about the essay first, real simple. I don't need to talk about this too much. Essay 1, overall, y'all did fantastic on it. If you made a good grade on essay 1, do it again, right? Just answer a different topic. I watched the corresponding video. If you want to use a few academic outside sources, I allow it. Make sure you cite, make sure you're very clear where you got the information from, and put it in there. But largely, the thing about these argumentative essays is I just want your own thoughts. You have all the information you need in the textbook and the video. Now tell me your own thoughts on the argument basis. Are there a legacy of civil rights, right? Does the New Deal still affect us today, right? And use your own personal experience, your own ideas, your own thoughts on that. That's what I'm looking for to really. So if you made, if you got that, a grade like a C and you really wanted to bump it up to an A, consider doing that. Consider giving more explanation on the history and then more on the ramifications of these events, right? What are their effects? What are their legacies? If you're not clear what we mean by a legacy is just simply something that lives on after its death. The New Deal is over. Does it affect us? The civil rights movement that we talk about in the 50s and 60s is over. It's debatable if there's a civil rights movement going on today. But does the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s, do we still feel the effects of that? Was there change, right? These kind of things. So answer those questions, give the best argument you can, and move on from there and write a great essay. Which leads us to the biggest one remaining, I guess, besides the exam. That's the monograph analysis. I posted how to do the monograph, but I thought I'd take and I've also done a video on it. I thought I'd take a couple more minutes of your time just in case you were unclear what we're looking for here. Of course, you need to read the book, Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. I picked that book for a reason. One, I think it's kind of interesting. It's a pretty good story. The history is also fairly well done in the book. That doesn't mean it's beyond criticism, but I leave that to you. But it's an entertaining read. It should go pretty fast, and it should be a very good introductory assignment to writing an analysis, a review of this book. So read Erik Larson's book if you have it. If you still haven't purchased, haven't read it, right, pick it up, start flipping through it, and you can get through it in a really fast time. Read it on your toilet or whatever you got to do, whatever you have the free time. Make little notes on there, because what I really want you to do on the monograph analysis is answer 7 simple questions. Now, they are listed. First off, the main question: what is the book's argument, main point, or thesis? What was Erik Larson trying to say in this book, right? Come to your own mind about this. I know we have some discussion posts, and that's free. Feel free to post your ideas on the discussion board about that. I might challenge you to look at it differently, but that doesn't mean you're wrong, because what I really want is your idea. What do you think the main point of this book? What was the argument? What was Larson saying? And then, second question, did it convince you? Was Larson effective in his job and convincing you that this is the main point of Devil in the White City? Yes or no, right or wrong, maybe a little bit both or not, you can go into that there. Then, any argument, you have to have claims to substantiate. So, if Larson's main point was this, how did he back it up, right? And give me specific examples of how Larson backed up his claims or tried to substantiate his claims in Devil in the White City. And then what fault did you find in that? What critique, perhaps, actually I should say, what critique did you find in that, or perhaps fault? Criticism, just go and give a little bit of analytical criticism. Are these claims 100% valid, perhaps, right? Was he effective in how he got his claims across to prove his point? Things like that. And then go into the sources. What sources did Larson use, right? And were these sources adequate? And then leave that to your judgment. What do you think? What would be the best source, and did these back it up? And then finally, just end it with a nice conclusion. What is the overall, what do you think of the book, right? And that. So that's all you got to do. I have a longer video on that where I go a little more into detail on those questions, but just as a way to reinforce what I'm looking for there. But I do want to warn you once again, and if you didn't pay attention to my warning the first time, please pay attention to it now. The only way that you can seriously mess up, right, on this monograph is by doing this. Do not do this. I don't care about other people's thoughts on this book. There are hundreds and hundreds of reviews online. Do not use them. Use your own thoughts. Read the book and come to your own thoughts. I am not going to penalize you because, heavily or maybe not at all, because either I disagree or I don't feel that your thoughts had much validity. It's what I'm trying to see when I read your monograph analysis is, first off, did you read the book? And did you actually think about these questions? And if as long as you have something in your essay that backs that up, you're probably going to get a good score, right? I'm not asking you to rewrite, the way we review books and to come up with the most brilliant review ever. If you do, great. That's fantastic. We'll send it to a book publisher right there and they'll post it in an academic journal. What I'm asking you to do is read the book, come to your own thoughts, analyze it as a historian does. but that involves your own thoughts right there. Anything else, of course, is plagiarism, and I really don't want to walk down that road. It's been a long enough semester. As short as this 8 weeks has been, this has been a brutal semester, so let's not go down that road in this class, because that's no fun for anybody. Okay, on that. The monograph is due the 17th. So, quizzes the 16th. So, Friday the 16th, right, have all the chapter quizzes done. The essay 2, the 17th, right? That's Saturday. The monograph essay, the same day, the 17th, right? Have that in on Saturday. And then exam 2, you will have until Sunday at 11:30. And that's the rest of the semester. I do want to say this. There'll be one more video coming, but it'll just be a lecture video. I do want to say this, guys. I really appreciate all your hard work. I've gotten some emails and I'm going about how am I doing in the class and all that. The point system, when you see I've done all this work and your points still say you're like 43%. It's like, I'm failing. No, you're not. Think about how many points we have left to go. 200 on the monograph analysis, 200 on the exam, right? If you haven't done all the chapter quizzes, they're 20 points apiece up there. And then the last essay, another 100 points. There are 1,300 total points in this class. And technically, 200, I'm trying to do some rough math here. This is never good. 400, about the last 3 days, I guess about 800 of them can be accounted for. And in reality, if you're talking about the exam is 200, the monograph is 200, and the essay is 100, that's 500 out of 1,300 points left to be decided on the last 2 days of this class. So keep doing what you're doing. If you're getting feedback that go into more detail, explain more, need more analysis, the simplest solution is write more, tell me more, go into it more on your essay and your monograph. And maybe the free response on the exams. So far, though, man, exams good. If you didn't get the multiple choice score you wanted on the first exam, and you don't want the same thing to happen in the second exam, go back to those chapter quizzes. I opened them up, right? I don't even have a lockdown browser on the exam. Okay, we're going to cheat the system here, right? Because I actually want you to do well, and I want you to score well. Open it up in another browser, right? And then just go through the old quizzes if you want. I don't care. Technically, I probably shouldn't say that and post this on YouTube and then put it up there. I don't care, though, about that. I want you to do well. I just want you to know the answer to the material as well. And I leave that up from the free response. But if you think about it, I post your free response questions ahead of time. And yes, I did do that last time. I posted them up there on exam 1, and they disappeared. And I don't know how they disappeared. Julie, I think you said it was, could have been the server maintenance. I don't know. They were up there. Some of y'all saw them clear as day, and they disappeared. And then I got a discussion board post. I said, why'd you remove them? That's not fair. I was like, I didn't remove them. Who does that? That would just be such a jerky thing to do. No, I didn't do that. They just disappeared on there. Well, do it again for exam 2. I'll make another discussion board post just in case the same thing happens. So you can actually write those out ahead of time. Copy and paste them into the exam. I think you can do that. I don't know. I've never actually taken an exam on Brightspace. I've just seen what it looks like. So, but anyways, you can have it right there and just type it as you read off your piece of notebook paper. Because, in doing that, just writing it down at one time, open book, you basically are learning the material, but you have to show me that you at least know the material. So do great on those, and you'll be fine on the exam. That's 200 really easy points right there. The quizzes, well, you gotta kind of read through the chapters and all that. And by the way, if you're just going through the textbook and reading the quiz for the quiz questions, I guess that's acceptable for the quizzes. You might lose out when you get to the argumentative essay and all that. At least read those sections that you know you're going to do the essay and read them very well, so make sure the material there on that. Okay, anything else? Zuhair, shout out to you. Thank you for posting the updated point system on the discussion board. I went and put up another post below to kind of condense it all. I do appreciate that. I posted it earlier, but you have to go back through the content and find it all, and that puts it in a convenient place. So if you're curious about, well, what's the new point breakdown, it should be reflected in the grade book first off. That is the point breakdown, but Zuhair was kind enough to give a pretty good list explaining some of the things in there, and then right below it, I just did a short little bracket that shows everything else on that. Any other points of topic? Yes, one last point, guys. Probably not the smoothest semester that you've ever had, and can't go back and change that, but nonetheless, we've got, a week and a half more of it, and I think it's going to turn out to be a pretty good semester. The scores are high in this class. I could tell we have some brilliant students in here, and that's fantastic. I can only imagine what you would do in a face-to-face class. So I really appreciate your hard work, right, and sticking around and being on top of it. Keep it up. A little bit more to go. For those of y'all that are kind of silent and not really getting it, that's fine. That's fine. I can't speak to you directly and that because, I don't know you, but I know you're doing well. Keep it up, right? Just a little bit more to go in the semester. On a happy note, get that A, right? And just make that GPA just shines, and you'll feel great at the end. Okay, guys, I might not talk to you again until the end of the semester. I have a video coming out about the civil rights movement. That's not a personal interaction. So I just wanted to say thank you, keep it up, and here's to a great winter break, guys. Bye.